We are rolling up to the very last weekend before October, and this is when I really like to set everything out before we get into like the very first day of October. Once that hits, there's so much spooky happening. I really want to make sure that I go to the things that I want to go to, have the activities, the experience. This is very easy once we're in it to just a little bit overwhelmed sometimes. So I pulled out my planner yesterday and got the big things written down. The haunted houses that I want to go to, pumpkin patches and orchards. There are two of them, like 2 pumpkin patches and 2 orchards, and that's because they have different, either a hayride or a haunted house attached onto it. Those are like my must go. I have a couple other in mind that I might want to visit if I have time. That's really what it all comes down to, but those two have to, must go every single year. The other one has a corn maze too, which is always just fun. That's like a daytime activity. Breaks it down to that. There's like daytime activities, nighttime activities. So basically my October is incredibly full, but the best way possible. Like, it's not overwhelming. I felt comfortable and confident with everything that I wrote down. And I even have a little side note of, okay, I didn't pack every single day. I have time to crochet. I have time to sew, to cross stitch, to do some of the other activities too, because that is very easy to happen as well, where every single day has something going on and then my crochet kind of gets pushed to the side. And we're not doing that this year. It's gonna be just a fun ride. But this was the only weekend that I didn't really have anything planned. So I started looking around my local area just to see what was going on. I know that there's a lot of haunted houses that open this weekend, and many of them weren't on my list, so I started going down that. Then I stumbled upon this event. So a while back, I bought this book, Food to Die For, and it has been super fun to go through. Basically, there's a little bit of historical chit chat and then a recipe that matches with it. The pictures are incredible. So this has been something, like I said, I've just kind of been going through it. No real rhyme or reason. I'll just look up a recipe in the index and then see what inspired that recipe. Fantastic way to get into the spooky spirit. Really, this is going to be something that I have out every October to just kind of revisit. This picture just showcases everything that this book is. It's spooky, historical, and it has really, really good recipes in here. I found out that the author of this is coming to my local area to have a little chit chat, and the event is called Walking with Ghosts Real Life Hauntings. Could not think of a more perfect thing to do to really kick off the spooky season. So I have tickets to go to that, and now I just need to figure out what I'm gonna wear. I have a couple of different options, but the main thing that I want to work on today is working up a shrug. This, I'm gonna do it on my little mushroom knitting machine. It's been a hot second since I've used this. It just feels right though. The fun thing about this project is that I can work this up very quickly and it's all one piece. The only thing that I'm gonna have to do is weave in 2 ends. That's it. I've made this project many times before, but for whatever reason, I don't have a black and white one. I have a black one, I have a fuzzy cream one, but no black and white. Both of the outfits that I have in mind would look perfect with this. The yarn that I'm going to be using is the Wander acrylic yarn from Furls. I have just the perfect white and black, and it's a little bit of a silky yarn too. I enjoy the feel quite a bit. I've made many cardigans with it. I think I have one shrug, but I can't remember if I gifted that one away. I don't have one that I wear on the day-to-day, and this is gonna be perfect. Since it is 100% acrylic, it's gonna be easy to take care of. I can wear it often. If it turns out the way that I'm hoping it's going to, it's gonna be an October 2024 staple for me. So first things first, I need to set this up, make sure that this little thing works to count my stitches, because it did not come with a stitch counter. So this thing initially was like, I don't know, rose gold and something, I can't remember, but I painted it, took it all apart, did all the pieces with it, yeah, the whole thing, and then attached this row counter. For me, it's just a must. I'm not gonna count and pay attention to the stitches. That's just, I know myself and I wasn't gonna do that. So I have this thing attached. Oh, the one part fell apart. There are definitely better stitch counters out there. I will say that. This is not like my favorite. It's just the one that I had access to at the time when I put it all together. It's a little bit cumbersome, but it still works, it's still functioning, so we're just gonna keep that on for now. Again, I wanna keep it nice and easy, so I think I'm just gonna do every 10 rows, I'm gonna switch the color. If that means I have to make it a little bit longer in order for that to work out, that's totally fine with me. It is finished and ready to go today. The only thing is I still don't know what I'm actually going to wear. I've been going back and forth between the two outfits. Full disclosure, here's my mistakes that happen because we all make mistakes as we craft and crochet and do all the things. So I lost count in the middle. Yeah, like the most important part that I needed to actually pay attention to, I lost track. So there is one extra, like this whole section right here shouldn't exist. I wanted there to be 80 rows, and I think I came up with 92 rows. Yeah, so 12 whole extra rows that I didn't need, which means it's just gonna be a little extra slouchy. I wasn't obviously that upset that I needed to go all the way back and start it over. Obviously, I had a limited amount of time to. If I stayed up later last night, I totally could have redone the whole thing because of course I didn't notice it until I got about 3 stripes into here, and then I was like, wait, the numbers are a little bit off. Like, why is it? Moving on. Mistakes happen. It's okay. See what it looks like with just this t-shirt that I have on right now, but really it's between 2 different dresses that I'm gonna wear, and they're both black linen, which I have been obsessed with lately. I don't know, just the feel of it, I really enjoy that. Okay, so like this isn't that bad. The arms are perfect. That is the length that I wanted. I want it to stop right there. The only thing is the shoulders. It's a little slouchy. I kind of wanted it to be up like that. There, that would have been perfect. So had I paid attention, the 12 extra rows, like, yeah, we would have been good. But that's okay. We're just gonna wear it down and slouched and pretend that that's what I meant to do the entire time. No one's gonna think, wow, that looks incorrect. They're just gonna be like, wow, they look so cozy. I do need to keep going though because I have pumpkin seeds to bake off today, another pumpkin to bake. I just like to have the pumpkin in the house and ready to go. I don't know if I'll get around to making more pumpkin bread, but that is my goals for the day. I'm just really excited, and like keeping my focus on any sort of project today is going to be very difficult. The event doesn't start until 8 o'clock is when it starts. The doors open at 7 though, but I know that there's going to be probably t-shirts, maybe enamel pins, things like that, and I want to see everything, which means I need to get there right at 7. Probably need to get an Uber around 6:30 to get down there, especially with traffic and stuff. I mean, it's a Friday night, so it's gonna be a little congested. I'm gonna do my best to stay focused, but I can't really guarantee that I'm gonna have anything productive done. If you have a chance to go to this, or if it's like rolling into a town near you, do it. Seriously, this was so much fun. 10 out of 10 bats. Highly recommend. Don't even think about it. Just go. Go and enjoy the entire night. One thing that was really cool is that at the end, she opened it up so people could ask questions. I didn't have any questions. I was kind of just there for the vibes, which was amazing. She was such a happy, vibrant person talking about hauntings and ghosts that it felt like you were chit-chatting with a best friend, just talking about the haunted experiences that they have gone through. I did bring some crochet with me, that way I could be the most active listener possible. If I'm just sitting there for a very long time, my brain wanders, like I need to have something going on with my hands. So the entire thing, it was about an hour and a half I think, I don't know, when I looked at my phone, I was already outside and thinking about food, so it could have been a little bit shorter, but around that length of time. I decided to bring one of my wraps that I was working on, and I finished the entire thing. So not only did I have this amazing spooky experience, but I now have a piece of crochet that will always bring back fun memories of going to see Amy Burney in person and listening to her haunted paranormal experiences. And I love that about crochet because, I mean, I worked up a ton of this. The last time I showed you, I think it was, I don't know, I could barely get it wrapped around, but like this is done. This is where we're gonna leave it. I adore the colors, the feel of it. Since there is a little bit of wool in it, I think I will block it. Yeah, I don't have the ends woven in yet, but I was just so happy last night that I'm like, you know what, we'll save it for another day. This is another thing that's amazing about crochet. I just feel like I was working in all of the spooky vibes from this paranormal chit chat into this wearable. You know, like every single knot, it had all of the spookiness into it. So every time I wear this, it's just going to be such a special piece to me. I'm not stressed it enough though. If this is something that was on your list, or if you're just hearing about it now, go to her Insta site, see the entire lineup. Well, actually, I did get a t-shirt and it does have the entire lineup of it on the back, so I can show that here. There was enamel pins, there were stickers, but you know me, I was immediately thinking about how can I add more crochet to this amazing experience that I had. I'm gonna work a little crochet into the sleeves. I think we're gonna go for a long sleeve since we are officially in fall. Then here's the back. We have all the places that she's going on the tour, and you can find this exact picture on her Insta, so it's a little bit easier to see like where she headed to next. I need to decide the yarn that I want to use to crochet into this. Typically, I'll just use a black yarn, but since this t-shirt is so soft and it's a really fun, distinct color, I want to do something a little bit different. Couple of different options I have just looking around the yarn dungeon. I could use this thing back here, which I am making another wrap. It's like the sibling of this one. I started this color. The green and purple, I feel like that would go with it really well. And number 2, fine. So I would use a 4mm crochet hook. That would work perfectly because I normally use my perforated rotary cutter to work into this. Other option that I'm really kind of leaning towards right now is using the DIY Glow Cozy just because of this color and the fact that it glows in the dark. Just have a whole ectoplasm looking type of shirt here. There are a couple of different colors in this line. This is the only neon green that I have, so if I decide to use this, I am gonna have to go back to Joann Fabrics today and get a couple of them. Let's try it and see if it works out. If it doesn't, that's totally fine. Then I will switch over to this. Just need to prep the shirt here real quick. Could not be any happier with how this turned out. I was a little bit concerned about the weight of it when I started crocheting into the actual sleeve, just because since this is a medium number 4 weight yarn and the t-shirt is so lightweight and airy, I thought I might not like that, but I actually enjoy the contrast of textures. Loving the fact that I did the long sleeves too. Now it's not even really a t-shirt, even though I did the mesh stitch, so it's pretty airy. It still does add a little bit of cozy to it, hence the name, DIY Glow Cozy. More of a lightweight sweater, which is perfect for the season. However, today it is 65 degrees and totally cloudy. Like there is no sun at all. I walked outside a little bit to see if I can maybe charge this, but no. So it's not gonna actually glow right now. But even without it glowing, I really love the color and the texture of it all. It just came together perfectly. If you want to see what this looks like glowing, I did do a review of this, or not even really a review, it was just a chit chat. Here's some new yarn, I'm gonna work it up. And I showed the intensity of the glow. So the longer I can keep this this out in the sun, the longer it'll stay charged. Hopefully, when I wear this out to a couple of the haunted houses that I want to visit this month, there will be some sunny days. I can just like walk around or maybe just like crochet outside for a couple of hours, charge it up, and then when I'm in the haunted houses with all the UV lighting and everything, it's gonna look fantastic. In total, I ended up using 1 full skein for each sleeve, and then I needed 2 more rows extra, which was just ridiculous. So this was the skein that I used between the 2 sleeves. So now it has me thinking I might go back and get a couple of the other colors. So the neon yellow, that was my all-time favorite out of this line. There wasn't a ton of colors. It was like neon yellow, neon green, there was a white, and I think there was a purple too. I might go back and get that purple because there are a few appliques that I now want to add to some t-shirts, and also this. I'm going to be doing this to so many other t-shirts that I have. Right now, my stack of thrift t-shirts is pretty large, so I'm gonna have to set aside some time to work on that. I think this is what I'm gonna do with it now. Normally, I'll just use a plain black yarn and just go with that because most of the t-shirts that I get are black with some graphics on it, but this would be kind of fun to do for October. But for this project, I'm super happy with how everything turned out, so I'm gonna rock this the rest of the day. I have a crochet blanket that I'm gonna work on. Make sure you go ahead and check out Amy Bruni on all of the socials and see if the Walking with Ghost tours is coming your way. So have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you ghouls tomorrow.